Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi and hello to all of my lovelies, my beauties, my royalties. Oh, how are you doing? Okay, well, this time first I'm going to say don't forget about those Epstein files. Ooh, yeah. And for a few of the episodes, yeah, because I recorded a couple episodes today, and yesterday I listened to the recording of it was in Florida, and all the Democrats were there. Where were the Republicans? Because yeah, now I'm like, okay, maybe I need to look up each Republican and then look up where were they? Where were they during the day that this was airing? Yeah, because one Republican after another, especially the ones that worked for the orange guy, it's like they acted like it didn't matter. They acted like the Doge and the stock market and everything like that mattered more. And we're talking about women's lives, and we're talking about how are we going to make sure that our future women and girls are safe if we won't even resolve like the damage and the hurt and the pain and the mental physical abuse of the past. How are we going to fix it? How are we going to resolve it? How can we make sure it doesn't happen again if we don't even fix, because they say if it's not broken, don't fix it. This is broke. This is broken. This is torn to shreds. They've torn the trust all to shreds. They've ruined women's ability to just trust in our government, because I mean, yeah, Republicans love that they took women's rights away, even though like a lot of the crap that they like poor educate who, and that's one reason why they are trying to fix the colleges so that the students are gonna walk in dumb and then walk out dumb. And like basically the only difference is their love for capitalism. And yeah, that's my opinion. But yeah, watch some of the videos and the studies about what's going on with some of these Republican colleges and how they're, yeah, yeah. And this is a gray sheep episode, but now that we have a disgusting, awful, terrible nightmare of a trillionaire, in my opinion, he's disgusting, awful, terrible. And some of the racist things he said and the actions he has done. But then everyone's like, he's not racist. He's not racist. And then with the orange man, he's not racist. Oh. But then even the number, the amount of money he wanted in that fund or whatever has racist roots. But like, no one, oh, that's just coincidence. Oh, he didn't know that. Oh, well, how is he supposed to know? He's the president. What? And then the same man, okay, people are so shocked that the orange man won't release these files, even though his name is in there so many times. And there's so many pieces of evidence and pieces of the files that won't be released. And they were like, oh, it's just duplicates. Okay, then let out the duplicates. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they were good friends. Or he wants to say, oh, they weren't that good of friends. Oh, how'd you meet your what? But then yeah, now they want to say that's not how he met his, yeah. Mm. But yeah, yeah. Same man who says that as long as you're rich, you're able to grab women by the and at pageants. He's allowed to walk back there and he can see everything. And yeah. Mm. And the young girl that was going up the escalator, in a few years he'll be dating her. But all the people are like, oh, he's such a manly man. He's so great. He's so like, what? Excuse me, like, what is your husband like? If you think the orange man's great, what in the world? Who did you marry? And or who what are you like for the men out there? Like if you think he's great, how much of a hot mess, how terrible are you? How heartless are you? That's what I want to know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But okay, yeah, this is a Gray Sheep episode. I haven't done one in a very long while, but I know that I just mentioned like the crisscross applesauce one. And so yeah, no, I need to make sure that episode is first. But then yeah, I've been doing a lot of recording lately and kind of a lot of uploading, but at the same time I'm just like, eh, because I have so many projects and so many things that I need to work on at the same time. But yeah, it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. So, and it's, yeah, other than the illustrations, because I can't draw a thing, it's like, yeah, as of now, everything but the illustrations are by me. So, but okay, let's grab that petty scorching hot tea. If you like it cold, hold the ice because the ice is a hot mess in these streets. And don't forget about my Patreon. There's a sample of stuff that you can see for free. Majority of it is like $2 and a few $4. I'm gonna have a couple higher, levels and stuff after a while or whatever, but I want my Patreon accessible financially for everybody, especially those with disabilities, because I know how hard it is with medications and treatments, physical therapy, and like some of the health insurance, like they won't pay for certain medications or things, or they think, oh, that's not for anything, or that's not just to survive, or blah. This is why we need healthcare for all. That's why we need healthcare for all. So, and if you've been listening to my episodes from the beginning, you'll already know I have enough proof on why it is and how I'm living evidence of why. So, okay. This is back to childhood, but that that still brings trauma till this day, honestly. But and I have hinted at this, and I've done really short versions of it. But I don't think I've gone into this depth that I think I'm about to go to. And I can't even say some of it because some, like, okay, you know what? Okay, just in case I do, here is a warning. Here is a warning. And I laugh just because I'm like, wow, I might actually. I am going to be talking about physical and, well, a lot of physical and some mental. It might be a lot of mental abuse, a lot. And so if you can't carry that load mentally and everything, if that will harm you, I'll see you next time, babies. Or check out the other channel. I probably have some episodes you haven't listened to. I just started like a couple days ago with getting that together again. So yeah, if you can't handle that, this is not the episode for you in any which way. But if you are dealing with anything similar to, or if you do listen to this episode and you feel like you're going through something like similar, like go to a specialist or go get help or go, like, if, like, yeah, it's like I want to call and interview people so that they can give you the proper steps, because since I was never able to gain that, I'm I'm kind of guessing at it, because I guess I'm thinking of what I would have tried to do if I was brave enough, but I don't even know if that would have solved it or even helped me be able to solve it. And I had awful, terrible, ignorant doctors back then. And she was a black Christian one too. Yeah, the Christian, like, and that's one reason why when people are like, there's no such thing as Christian trauma, shut the crap up. Okay. And so, you know what? I'm going to start there because that might help you realize more with how the medical system like hurt me at home, at school, at work. And like with dating, like just my entire life with friends and so-called friends and bullies. But okay, it's like if you guys have been listening, you already know about like one of my first doctors, my pediatrician, Christian black doctor. And while like at the beginning it wasn't that bad, but over the years, like this, like my walking continued because the doctor was like, "Oh, just teach her how to walk right. Oh, just yell at, like, just keep motivate her, or do this, or maybe try different shoes." And oh no, she'll walk right. Nothing's wrong with her, because and this is because of the doctors, the white doctors, because yeah, they write notes. They write notes about everything, and so she read their notes, and they said nothing was wrong with me, and so she believed them, and she didn't test, or she didn't do anything. And a lot of these doctors are no good, lazy, stupid, ignorant, and lazy. So but anyway, so I think it was around, I mean it was like third grade is when it's like it really started. But when it got extreme was in like the fifth or sixth grade. And that's when my mom was just like, I will not allow my child to walk around like that. So that's like the gym shoe episode. Yeah. I think, yeah, that was right. Like, but okay. It kind of started around third grade. So let's back up to third grade. And if you don't know about the gym shoe episode, yeah, Gray Sheep, gym shoes, you'll find it. But my doctor was telling my mom that for if she's a Christian woman, to follow the Bible. And in the Bible, it says if the kids are not doing what the parent says, to spank them in order to keep them in line. And so at first, like my mom would just yell at me forcefully, or even a couple times she would push me into the wall and get in my face and tell me that nothing's wrong with you, and God made like me to walk right. God made me the right way. He didn't make any mistakes and stuff like that. And so I better start walking like that. So she started putting the fear. It's like this to me, like when people talk about the fear of God, I'm like, skip the fear of God, the fear of my mother. And so, okay. Whenever, like, remember like when you're in elementary school and you have an assembly, so you either get like in, I think a lot of the schools, most schools, it's in the gym. It might be in another special room depending on what school, I don't know, but for us it was the gym. And so our teacher, Mrs. Akey Clay, something like this. Like, 'cause I think she got married, or like, yeah, I think her name ended up changing in the middle of the year. And part of me, I'm just wondering, who the crap would want to marry this wicked woman? So, because some people they called her a witch, and she kind of reminded. Oh, you know what? And she did kind of look like. Remember that one children's book where there's a like the cover is where like a bunch of students are in a classroom, and they it's like the title is like their teacher is missing, and they end up with this substitute. If you don't know, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. But yeah, she kind of like I remember when I read that book, I think I read it in second grade, and then when third grade happened and we walked in, I was like, oh crap. I'm like, I ended up with her. And so yeah, but I didn't know how much of that was going to be true. Because, okay, so assemblies would start happening, and we would be seated in the gym, and like we would have to be crisscross applesauce. And in the classroom, it was already kind of an issue. And she would, like, 'cause sometimes, like, she would tell us to be crisscross applesauce with reading or whatever. We would be at our desk majority of the time, so it wasn't too often. But she kind of saw that I would always kind of jiggle or move around or whatever. And I didn't know, like, I knew it was discomfort, but I didn't know how to phrase it and stuff, especially since everyone called me a liar. And so, or I was making it up, or that. But yeah, so my third grade teacher, she would always mark me down because she said I didn't know how to stay still. I didn't know how to keep myself together and stuff like keep myself composed during the carpet time or whatever. And I was like so confused because I'm just like, well, I have to move. Like, my legs are hurting. They're falling asleep. It's like, and so, anyways, like in the gym, like you never know how long the assemblies would be. Like sometimes it was performer or maybe firefighter or like a movie. Like like it was all types of things. So sometimes it would be like 1 or even like 2 hours. And there were times where I would have to get out of crisscross applesauce and like get on my knees. And I would hear her, she would like do this like hussing sound. And it was just like, what? And I remember I looked at her and she'd like wag her finger at me. And I'm just like, my leg, I can't. And so I am in pain. So then it's like, but I have to make sure my attendance doesn't get even worse. So, but yeah, this continued and like I kept trying to adjust and wiggle and I'm rubbing my legs but it's like, 'cause I remember she was just like, nothing's wrong with you. I've asked your mother because like sometimes when my mom would come and pick us up or whatever, but my mom, like she would tell my mom and my mom was like, nothing's wrong with her. And so yeah, fun. Or even parent teacher conferences, when she would mark me down, she would say, it's like she doesn't know how to stay still. She doesn't know how crisscross applesauce. She won't follow directions. And so, yeah. So then my mom would go and talk to the doctor, and the doctor's like, she just wants that because she wants attention. It's like nothing's wrong with her. And this is when the whole do what they say in the Bible, spank her until she walks right. That's when it started. And I remember it was a few days because I think my teacher called my mom and told her. And I remember my mom called me into the room and she asked me, like, why won't you sit still? And I'm like, I'm looking at her like, I don't know what she's talking, like, what? And she told me about the assembly and how my teacher keeps like having to get my attention and tell me to sit flat and crisscross because of the students behind me and stuff. And I'm just like, well, I have to like, and she would cut me off. She was like, you don't have to tell me the truth. You're lying and stuff. So then it's like, I don't know what to say because it's like, I told the truth, but the truth didn't work. And at church, they were like, don't lie. But it's like, the truth's not working. And so she's telling me if I don't tell her the truth, I have to get the belt. So then I'm like, okay, now I gotta like, what lie is gonna be good enough for her? And so anyway, it never like the truth didn't work and whatever I came up with didn't work. So my mom would tell me to get the belt. And at first it wasn't, I mean it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. But I think it was shocking because to me I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know how to, cuz like I mentioned the pain. I mentioned how it's not adjusting and she was just like, it's just because you're lazy. It's just because you don't want to. And I'm just like, what? It's like all of her responses weren't making any sense to me because I was in pain. And especially now being diagnosed, I was in pain. It was because of my disability. It's like I should have been allowed to sit either in the back of the gym in a chair or something or away and like so that I wasn't blocking anyone else's view or so I wasn't wiggling around. But because of my disability, that's why I was moving around. That's why she always marked me down. That's why she would pick on me because like even in the classroom she was like, "Oh, you're not moving around today. You're not doing this today." And it's like, okay, now you're hurting my feelings? Really? Really? And so it's like, I didn't care. Like, and I know some people are like, oh, well, you probably were just lazy, whatever. But it was to a point I didn't care about my schoolwork. And that was like throughout a lot of school. Like, I kept being punished and harmed and things like that and told I was a liar, told that there was nothing wrong with me. And I was like, there were so many days where I got like either spanked or I had to clean that. Like my my perfect sister didn't wouldn't have to clean the house. It's like only me to be a punishment because I had to learn. And hopefully, because even my mom would say, well, this cleaning will teach you how to walk, right? Yeah, yeah. But there was one night that, I mean, it happened a few times, but I remember one night where it was until I had welts. And like, I know, like, every morning we had to put Vaseline and lotion on. And the next day, the lotion burned my skin. It stung. It hurt. And I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. It's like no one believed me. No one would listen, and that's one reason why I do this channel now. Yeah, no one listens to me now, but I'm just like, hey, whatever. Like maybe one day someone will, pop in and be like, you know what, I understand, and or Republic, and that's what another reason why we need DEI. People don't understand the importance of DEI. As a black woman with a disability, I wasn't heard or listened to. People didn't understand me because they refused to listen to me. It's like so many people refuse to learn about different demographics that are different than themselves, either being female or even LGBTQ plus, or having a disability, or being black or a person of color. Yeah, oh, some of the people of color don't believe, never, depending on, depending on. But I, yeah, and that's one reason why till this day, I have no idea how my mom would have reacted once I got diagnosed. I think she would have tried to drag me to the church and tell them to like take out the demons. Because I remember it was third or fourth grade too, where my mom said there must be a demon in me because I was refusing to walk right, and that she prays for me every day. So it's like if her prayers don't work, that means something is wrong with me, and or I'm pushing away her prayers and I don't want what's right for me. And yeah, because even during like with the parent teacher conferences in third grade, like my mom would come home and she'd be like, "You're still not sitting right. You're still not doing crisscross applesauce. What's wrong?" And I mean, we called it Indian position back then, but or Native, yeah, like something like that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna call it crisscross applesauce. But it was just those are some traumatizing times, and it shows me a lot of throughout my entire life I wasn't listened to. And I'm sorry to bring it up again, but even in my last relationship, I wasn't listened to. And I keep being right. And I don't say that to brag, but I told my now ex, you know what? It's like you need to go out there and date. You need to find yourself. You need to connect. But in his head, he was just like, I haven't had a woman, I haven't had female attention in a year and a half. I'm desperate. Yeah, is that sad to hear? Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, he's never told me that, but yeah, he wants to go and date now. But that's the exact thing I told him back in January. And with my walking, I kept telling people, I'm in pain. I can't sit right. I don't know why I can't do crisscross applesauce. And even crossing my legs. Oh, third grade too, because I remember some of the girls, they were, crossing their legs. And it was like, I forgot we were dressing up for something. But I have a hard time. Like when I cross, it doesn't look right. I can't do it. So I don't. And again, the third grade teacher, Mrs. Clay or Aki or whatever, she told my mom, and how my mom tried to force me to make me do it. First, she spanked me a lot, because she told me to cross my legs, and I did, and she's like, "That's not how you do it. Do it right." Okay, and so I keep adjusting. I'm trying, but I can't get the belt. So then she got the belt, and yeah, but then she was like, "Okay, like I'm gonna force." So then she took the belt, like she told me to get into crossing legs, and she kind of forced my legs, so it was painful for me, but she didn't care. I was kind of crying, and she fastened the belt to force my legs to stay together. And she said I had to stay like that for the rest of the night. I will never forget that night. There's so many nights I will never forget, but my majority of the nights I will never forget were the ones where I tried to speak up and I tried to say it, I'm in pain. I don't know why I can't do this. I don't know why I can't stay in like crisscross applesauce. I don't know why I can't cross my legs like a lady. I am a girl, but I don't like I know I'm supposed to. I know at church, it's like, but I can't. And so trying to be a good Christian girl, trying to not just have my parents disappointed in me, which they were and they are. I mean, even in her death she was. I mean, I've told parts of the story when I went to visit my mom before the cancer really took over her. That was one of the roughest days because I thought, okay, now that it's not looking good, like maybe we can at least end things on a good, I was still hoping she would make it through, but I thought if not, or I thought right now at least maybe we can figure things out. But that did not happen. And even on her deathbed, she would not talk to me. She would yell at me and talk to everybody else. And so that's one reason why I say she hated me, and no one's ever going to convince me that she loved me. And one of my sisters, she can't stand that I say that. She doesn't want to speak to me when I mention that, but it's the truth. Even on her deathbed, she would not. She like both the time she yelled at me. Nobody. And one of the times my dad and my sister were in the room, and I tried telling them, since I was younger, even third, fourth, fifth grade, how what she would say or do, and they didn't believe me, and or they would be like, "Well, God told her." It's like, "Oh, she just wants you to be a good girl. She wants you to grow up and be a good Christian." Blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. And so, yeah, when people tell me there's no such thing as Christian trauma, they know what, okay. I need to figure out a nice way to say what I want to say, because trust me, it's not going to be Christianly with what I want to say. No swearing, but yeah, it's not going to be a good girl. But yeah, it's, she would never know my diagnosis. And it's so frustrating because since I was a little girl, I tried telling her. I tried voicing it. I tried expressing, but no one would it was always lies to her because she wanted the perfect daughter. Like my sister's a perfect daughter, but she wanted me to at least be somewhat tolerable. She wanted me to be someone who she can at least somewhat like, or she would at least kind of want to deal with, but I wasn't. She refused to have a daughter with a disability, even though she taught special ed. That's another piece of the puzzle, which, yeah, she taught special ed, but she had no empathy for me. But, and I would watch her because, yeah, we spring and spring, winter, summer vacations, we would go with her to help her in her classroom. And I would see her just especially the kids in the wheelchair, hug them like, "Oh my gosh, you can do it. Oh, you're so great." And oh, high five, and all of this love. And I'm just like, what? And now, as I was, after I got diagnosed, I'm like, how in the world? This is not the same woman. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman. I am of color. and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.